Brazil has given us more legends than any other nation in football history. But if only 11 could wear the shirt forever, who gets left out? Today, AI takes control. It studies trophies, goals, legacy, and influence. And the team it builds is nothing like you'd expect. Brazil. A country where football is not just a sport. It is a heartbeat, a rhythm, a way of life. From the crowded streets of Rio to the golden beaches of Copacabana, the ball never stops rolling. Children play barefoot. Fans chant with fire. The game is woven into the nation's soul. But why Brazil? Why does the world see this land as the temple of football? The answer lies in the rhythm. Just like samba, football here flows with flair, joy, and artistry. It is unpredictable. It is alive. It is electric. 5 World Cups. Legends born in every era. Pelé, the boy who became the king. Garrincha, the dribbler who danced past defenders. Romario, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Neymar, the list never ends. Each generation has its genius. Each decade has its magician. But when you have so much greatness, a question rises: who are the greatest 11? If Brazil could line up its all-time best 11, chosen not by human bias, but by artificial intelligence, who would make the cut? The answers are not simple. They are complex. They are controversial. But that is where the story begins. The samba is ready. The stage is set. Let the debate begin. And as we move forward, you'll see which legends survived the debate and earned their place in Brazil's all-time AI dream team. When we talk about Brazilian football, the first names that come to mind are usually strikers, wingers, and magicians with the ball. But Brazil has also produced legendary goalkeepers who define eras. And in this debate, the AI narrows it down to 3 icons: Neymar, Taffarel, and Dida. Neymar, the guardian of Pelé's Brazil, was the man between the sticks in both the 1958 and 1962 World Cup triumphs. Calm, composed, and unshaken under pressure, he was the foundation of Brazil's first golden age. Taffarel, on the other hand, became a national hero in the 1994 World Cup. His penalty shootout saves brought Brazil back to glory after a 24-year drought. For many fans, he was the symbol of reliability, a safe pair of hands when it mattered most. Then comes Dida, the modern giant. With AC Milan, he conquered Europe, lifting the Champions League in 2003 and 2007. His long reach and sharp reflexes made him one of the finest keepers of his generation. But here's where the AI models split. ChatGPT leans towards Neymar, honoring history. Gemini favors Taffarel, highlighting his World Cup heroics. Grok and Luchat Mistral point to Dida for his club dominance. DeepSeek surprisingly sides with Taffarel again, valuing clutch performances. So who wins this digital debate? With 3 votes to 2, the AI collective crowns Taffarel as Brazil's all-time number 1. The safe hands of the Seleção's rebirth. When you think of Brazil, the mind often jumps to dazzling attackers and magical midfielders. But behind every samba goal, there stood a wall of defenders, men who turned Brazil's flair into balance. And this is where the AI models clash to decide who guards Brazil's all-time 11. ChatGPT begins with the obvious. It locks in Cafu as the right back. 2 World Cups, over 140 caps, and the only player in history to appear in 3 consecutive World Cup finals. Cafu was not just a defender, he was an engine. Always running, always overlapping, always giving Brazil that extra width. But Gemini disagrees slightly. It argues for Djalma Santos, the 1958 hero, a rock-solid fullback who played across 3 World Cups. Still, the modernity of Cafu's game, his longevity, and his legendary consistency push him ahead. Verdict: Cafu wins this battle. Now, on the left side, the argument becomes even hotter. DeepSeek shouts the name Roberto Carlos. And how could it not? That thunderbolt free kick against France in 1997 is still bending in the air today. With 125 caps and a trophy-laden career at Real Madrid, he was a fullback who redefined attacking power. But then Luchat Mistral raises Nilton Santos, the encyclopedia of football, a man so intelligent he pioneered the idea of attacking from defense back in the 1950s. Yet, Carlos's explosiveness and global stardom make him impossible to overlook. Roberto Carlos claims the spot. In the center, the debate splits again. Grok places Lucio immediately. A warrior. The rock of Brazil's 2002 World Cup win. His surging runs from defense terrified strikers. ChatGPT pushes for Thiago Silva, citing leadership, elegance, and consistency across more than a decade of elite football. Meanwhile, Gemini insists on Aldair, the silent giant from Roma, a man who brought calmness and intelligence to the heart of defense. After weighing it all, the models converge. Lucio and Thiago Silva take the central roles. Their blend of aggression and composure feels unshakable. And so, the AI panel has built Brazil's backline: Cafu, Lucio, Thiago Silva, and Roberto Carlos. A defense that isn't just a wall, it's a fortress with wings. They don't only protect, they attack. And with them, Brazil's all-time 11 takes a shape that feels both solid and spectacular. Brazil's greatness has always been defined by its midfield, the place where magic and leadership blend into one. And now, 5 different AI models have given us their predictions. But who truly makes Brazil's all-time 11? Let's dive in. ChatGPT begins with authority. It selects Socrates, the doctor, a man whose elegance defined the 1982 World Cup. Long legs gliding across the pitch, back heels, vision, and a political voice off the field. To ChatGPT, Socrates is more than a player. He's a symbol of Brazilian artistry. But Gemini disagrees. It goes with Dunga, the captain of 1994. Not flashy, not poetic, but a warrior. Dunga was the spine Brazil needed when flair alone couldn't win trophies. His grit, tackles, and leadership brought Brazil its 4th World Cup. Gemini argues, without balance, there is no glory. Now Grok adds chaos. It brings Zico to the table. The white Pelé. A genius who, despite never winning a World Cup, dominated the late 70s and 80s with Flamengo and the Seleção. Goals, assists, vision. Zico had it all. Grok insists, a Brazilian 11 without Zico is incomplete. Le Chat Mistral leans towards Kaká, the 2007 Ballon d'Or winner. The last man to break the Ronaldo-Messi duopoly. Kaká's surging runs, calm finishing, and humble leadership made him unforgettable. AC Milan's nights in Europe, Brazil's 2002 campaign, Kaká was the modern elegance of Brazilian football. Finally, DeepSeek plays wild. It throws in Rivaldo, the magician of 2002. Long-range rockets, bicycle kicks, clutch goals. Rivaldo was unpredictable, dangerous, and often underrated. DeepSeek says, Rivaldo is the spark that makes this midfield unstoppable. So, who wins this AI battle? Let's break it down. The AI models debate, clash, and overlap. Finally, a consensus emerges. ChatGPT and Grok stand firm on Zico. Gemini refuses to let go of Dunga. And the rest rally behind Kaká. Rivaldo, as brilliant as he was, just misses out. So the midfield trio is set. Dunga, Zico, and Kaká. A balance of warrior spirit, eternal genius, and modern elegance. Leadership, creativity, and flair woven into one unstoppable unit. And with them chosen, the story of Brazil's all-time 11 moves to its dazzling attack. When we reach the forward line of Brazil's all-time 11, we arrive at pure magic. This is not just football. This is art on grass, samba with a ball, and carnival fireworks every time the net shakes. Brazil's legacy of attackers is so rich that even artificial intelligence struggles to agree. The models argue like fans in a packed Maracana. ChatGPT takes the first call. It insists on Pelé, the king, the man who scored over 1,000 goals and lifted 3 World Cups. To leave him out would be unthinkable. Gemini counters, bringing in Ronaldo Fenomeno, the 2-time Ballon d'Or winner, the man whose explosive speed and ruthless finishing terrified defenders. Gemini reminds us of 2002, when Ronaldo rose from injury and humiliation to score 8 goals and carry Brazil to glory. Then Grok steps in with a bold argument. It selects Ronaldinho. Not just for his numbers, but for his magic. Grok argues that football is not only about goals, but about joy. Ronaldinho's smile, his no-look passes, his dance with the ball. For Grok, Ronaldinho is the spirit of Brazilian football. But Le Chat Mistral disagrees. It sides with Neymar. Modern, electric, and dazzling. The player who carried Brazil in the last decade, scoring over 75 international goals, and surpassing Pelé's official scoring record. Mistral argues that Neymar is the bridge between past and future. DeepSeek, the most analytical of all, goes with Garrincha. The man who dribbled not just opponents, but entire teams. In 1962, when Pelé was injured, it was Garrincha who single-handedly carried Brazil to the World Cup. For DeepSeek, leaving him out would erase a legend. The debate grows louder. So, who wins this AI carnival? The first spot is secured by Pelé. No debate can dethrone the king. His 12 World Cup goals, his records, his aura, he is the foundation. The second spot goes to Ronaldo. Even the models agree. His speed, power, and redemption arc in 2002 make him the perfect strike partner. The third position is chaos. Ronaldinho's artistry. Neymar's brilliance. Garrincha's dribbles. Each AI model refuses to back down. But in the end, DeepSeek presents the most decisive case. Garrincha was unbeaten whenever he played with Brazil. His presence guaranteed victory. The others bow, reluctantly, to history. And so, the AI's final verdict is clear. Brazil's all-time forward line is Pelé, Ronaldo, and Garrincha. A trio of beauty, power, and magic. 3 names that embody the carnival of football. 3 names that make defenders tremble. 3 names that remind the world why Brazil is the eternal home of the beautiful game. And there it is, the final 11 of Brazil, chosen by AI. At the back, we see Taffarel commanding the goal, with Cafu and Roberto Carlos flying as fullbacks. In the heart of defense, the elegance of Thiago Silva and the power of Lucio form a solid wall. Midfield is pure artistry, Dunga's passing, Kaká's leadership, and the rhythm that made Brazil's Jogo Bonito unforgettable. Up front is where the carnival explodes. Garrincha dances on the right, Ronaldo brings joy on the left, and leading the attack, the unstoppable duo, Pelé, the eternal king, the phenomenon who conquered the world. This is not just a team, this is the AI-built carnival of legends.